Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I'm going to dye regular paper using tea bags. So I bought Celestial Seasonings True Blueberry Tea, and there were 4 packets in each container. So I took the 4 tea bags out of each container and cut them and put them in here. So there's 8 tea bags total in here. I boiled some water, and I'm just going to add some water to the tea bags. And I'm going to let that sit for about 10 minutes. Okay, so I transferred my tea into a pitcher just for easier pouring. And I have a strainer and a coffee filter. I'm going to put over a measuring cup so I can strain all the tea grains out of here. Just going to pour it in. You can see all the grains at the bottom of the pitcher. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes till it's fully strained. Okay, so now all of my tea has been filtered, strained. So I'm just gonna take my coffee filter out, throw it inside my pitcher, get rid of my strainer. And now I'm gonna pour what's left into this glass casserole dish. You want to use a dish that's about the same size as the paper you're going to be using. So I'm just using standard white paper. And you just put it inside. And you push it down. Make sure that you get all the air bubbles out so that the whole paper gets dyed. And you want to leave each sheet of paper in here for at least 2 minutes. So I'm going to come back in 2 minutes and take the paper out. Okay, so it's been a couple of minutes, so I'm going to take out my paper. And of course it's going to be very wet. So I have a container here with some paper towels at the bottom. So I'm going to lay it inside. And take some other paper towels and blot it dry. I want my paper to have a crinkled look to it. So what I'm gonna do is get my paper here. And I'm just gonna take it and carefully crinkle it up like this. I want it to look gold. And then another thing you can do is you can take a heat gun and you can dry the paper if you don't have time to let it air dry. Just crinkle it up. Use the heat gun. Try to get the excess water out. Okay, so I used my heat gun and dried a little bit of the paper, but I'm going to continue to leave it underneath paper towels and set my next piece of paper in. So you just repeat this process for all the pages that you want to make. and then I will show you what it looks like when it's all dry. Okay, so I just finished making all my paper. This is what it ended up looking like. All crinkled. You can see it has a blue tint to it because I used blueberry tea, and it also has a smell to it. It smells like blueberries. So it went from this to this. Now if you don't want a rough surface like this to work on, but you like the crinkled old look, then you can also iron your paper to make it a little flatter and easier to write on. So I'm going to show you that now. I just put it between a dish towel instead of ironing directly on the paper. You can see the surface is a little bit flatter than before, so it'll be easier to work with. Either way, that's how you make paper, dyeing paper with a tea bag. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to show you how I illustrated the pages in my book. So I have cotton rounds, I have jumbo cotton balls, I have some star stickers, tacky glue, scissors, photograph that I took, and the text for this page. So what I'm going to start with is my photograph. I'm just going to cut all around my son's baby picture here. I only want him. Because I'm writing a lullaby, I want to have him in the clouds, so I'm going to use a regular cotton ball and pull it apart to make like a cloud. So right about there. And I'm going to use the cotton round to make a crescent moon. Like that. Actually, maybe I'll put it there. And then I'll use star stickers to place all around. So once I have all my placement, I'm going to use my tacky glue. And I'm going to glue on the text. And the cotton clouds. And the photograph. Crescent moon. And then I'm going to place stars around. And that's how I illustrated one of the pages in my book. Okay, now that I have my homemade paper, I need to put it together into a book. So I'm going to create a binding for my pages here. So what I'm going to use is yarn, and I'm going to create a stitch just like this. This is only 2 pieces of paper, and you can tell it's very strong. So what you need to do this is a ruler, a pen or a pencil, scissors, yarn, and I'm using a large needle. So what you want to do is take your ruler, put all your pages together, and I'm going about a 1/2 inch in and a 1/2 inch up, and I'm going to mark the first spot, and then I'm going to go every inch after that and make a spot all the way to the top. So you can see where I made my marks. Okay, so using your large needle, you now want to take it and puncture it through the paper. And you want to repeat this process for every spot that you need. Okay, now that I have all my holes punctured, I'm going to use that needle with a large hole, and I'm going to use my yarn to start stitching. So what you want to do is you want to cut your yarn so that it's about 4 times the length of your paper. And you want to feed it through the needle. Okay, once you have your book together, I have a piece of cardstock on the top and cardstock in the back, because that's what's going to be glued to your cover. And then I have my title page and my dedication page, and then all the pages of my book. So I have those all together. I have all my holes punched, and now I put the yarn through my needle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this end so that the thread doesn't come off my needle while I'm trying to stitch. So you take your book, you fit it through the holes and pull it through, which can be a little hard at first. In your first hole, you want to pull it through and actually tie it in the back just one time, just so the yarn doesn't come through the hole. And then you're going to feed it from the back to the front, again lining up your holes. And pull it through. You're just going to do the hole over and under like you would regular sewing. And once you get to the end down here, I'm going to do a different kind of stitch. Oops. There we go. For the last one, you're going to pull it through. Okay. Come on, Liz. Okay. You're going to pull it through, but then you're going to go over the top and go through the same hole again, so that you have the stitch going over the side, just like that. And then you're going to continue to stitch every space where there isn't a stitch. You're going to stitch through, and then go through the hole again so that you get a stitch over the top, just like that. And your very last stitch, you can cut the top of the needle and take the one that you tied earlier, and you're going to tie these together, and I would triple knot it. And then cut off the excess. So now you have your whole binding stitched. And you can tell it's very sturdy on all pages. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to glue this over your stitch. So what I did was I took half a page of cardstock and I did a half of an inch here for my binding. So I folded it. So now I'm going to glue it over this stitch so that when I put it inside the cover, I can glue all of this to my cover. So all you're going to do is take, I have clear tacky glue, and you're just going to glue all around. You're going to fit your pages in. Make sure it's the right way. And you're just going to press it down. Same as the other side. And you're going to put that aside and let that dry. Probably put like some kind of weight on it, like a book or a computer, just so that it stays together and dries. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make the cover for your book. So this is one that I just made. I made my cover out of fabric. So I'm going to show you how I made this. So what you'll need is a piece of fabric, which I went to Walmart and they sold pre-cut pieces. So I just used that piece. I also went to Michael's and found a foam board, a multi-pack. It was 4 pieces. So what I did was I took the pages of my book and lined them up with my board, and I kept a 1/2 inch border all the way around, measured it out, and I cut this one out. So now I'm going to take that piece and use it as a template for the back cover. I'm just going to take a pencil and trace the top on the side. And now I'm going to cut that out with an X-Acto knife. And then you also need the centerpiece for your spine. If you look here, you can see the spine piece. So again, I used a 1/2 inch and just cut it. So I'm using a clipboard to cut on. And my ruler, so I don't mess it up. And just cut going right down. over it a few times so it comes loose. It may still stick in a few spots, may have to go over it again. But down here it's sticking. And right up here. Okay, so I don't need that piece. So now I have my front and back cover and my spine. So I'm gonna move all these tools I don't need anymore. I'm using tacky glue. I tried using a glue gun, didn't work as well. So then you just want to center your pieces. So they have about the same amount on both sides. And using your tacky glue, you're gonna put a lot of glue on. All around the corners, in the center. And then flip it over and press it down. And do the same with the other two pieces. And the last piece here. And press it down. Okay, next I'm going to glue the bottom piece up, just like this. So I'm going to put tacky glue all over the bottom, on the spine, front cover and back cover. Just pull it up and press it down. Now the side, you're going to pull this back a little bit. And you're going to glue the side. And I'll show you what to do with the corners. So pull your side over and push it down. When you get down here, you're going to put them together like this because you're going to cut the excess off. Using the scissors, I'm going to cut the excess fabric off and just have one lap over the other, just like that. Do the same for the other side. Pull it over, stretch it out. And again, make your corner down here. And again, I'm going to cut. And overlap. Just like that. I'm going to do the same on the top. I'm going to do the same for each corner again. You need to let this dry for a while. Make sure it's all pressed down, nothing's loose. And I'd probably let it dry for an hour or two before doing anything else with it. All set. Okay, once your cover has dried and the binding has dried, now it's time to glue the two together. So what you want to do is make sure that your book is the correct way. Your cover's going the right way and your book's going the right way. And you're going to take your tacky glue and glue the whole back of your book, the back page. Make sure you get all the corners, the center. Add some glue on here too. And then you're going to line it up so you still have that 1/2 inch border going all the way around. There we go. And press it down. Now you still have your spine to glue. So I'm going to add glue all down my spine. And all along the spine of my book. So that will line up. And then I'm going to add glue to the front cover. And make sure the spine meets together and the front cover meets together. Push it all together, press it down. And then I have my title of my book that I'm going to glue on the top. Press that down. And then I'm going to add weight to my book overnight. I'll leave the weight on overnight so that it all glues together. I'm going to use my laptop. That's it. Okay, so this is my final product. This is the cover of my book with the title, back cover. And the inside of the book, I have my title page, my dedication. This book is dedicated to my sons, Dorian Klein and Draven Sky. I love you both to the moon and back. Love, Mama. Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, my Dorian. Close your eyes, my little baby, and I'll see you in the morning. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, my Dorian. Go to sleep, my little baby, and I'll see you in the morning. Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, my Draven. Close your eyes, my little baby, and I'll see you in the morning. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, my Draven. Go to sleep, my little baby, and I'll see you in the morning. And that's the end.